What's up, guys? Today we are doing sports tier lists. Now, I feel like I'm pretty educated in this. I've watched a lot of sport. Some of these I haven't watched a lot of, but oh no, I thought we forgot something. I just looked around. I thought we forgot something, but it's there. It's all good. All right, so I guess we just do it in order. But yeah, I've played a fair few sports. I haven't played all of these, so I've played and watched a lot of them. So yeah, I feel like I'm educated enough to make a pretty good tier list, in my opinion, anyway. Okay, AFL. This is the sport I was personally best at playing out of all these sports. Obviously, I'm Australian, so and I'm South Australian. So in South Australia and Victoria, this is like the main sport, really. In some of the other states, it's rugby, but basically, football is AFL is the number one in the country. But I've got to be critical here because I think I know what I'm going to put S tier. I love Aussie rules. I support the Port Adelaide Power. They're my team, but I just don't think it's an S tier sport. I think it's quite flawed. The game is quite complicated at times. It's hard to officiate. I don't think it's an S tier sport, and it's obviously not international either. So I'm gonna give it an A. I'm giving it an A out of my own love for the game, but yeah, I don't think it's an S tier sport. I don't think it deserves S tier. UFC, pretty good. I've started watching it like in the last 2 or 3 years. I don't think I appreciate the full art of it or even understand what's going on, but it's good to watch. It's entertaining. So that's B tier. That's a good sport. Basketball. Now, basketball, massive fan of. I probably watch the most of this sport, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon I've watched the most basketball than anything. So I'm going to put that. I think basketball at its best is an S tier, so we're going to put it there. I think we got to judge these things at its best, at its peak. At its best, how good can it be? I guess all sports really at their best, they can be S. But I think basketball at its best is such a good game. Yeah, it's really good. Soccer. Now, biggest sport in the world, I think. It would have to be, right? I support a team in England, Chelsea. Got my boys right here, actually. Yeah, Chelsea. Now, this is my opinion, but I think soccer, at its best, is the best sport in the world. At its best, it is like nothing compares. I think you look at it's the World Cups. You look at Premier League, like Aguero's goal to win the Prem, stuff like that is just it's just. I think the highs in the game, because there's not many goals scored. The highs in the game when it's 0-0 and a goal, the highs are in basketball. You hit a three 10 times, 20 times a game. So that's sort of. You know what I'm saying? That's sort of let the highs come and go. It's it's like a bunch of little adrenaline hits. Soccer's one massive one. So I think soccer, just because it's international impact, and at its best, it's amazing. One thing I will say, it can be boring as shit sometimes as well. Let's be honest. A 0-0 game can put you to sleep. Soccer can be garbage as well. But I think just because at its best, it is the best sport in the world, I have to give it S tier. NFL, I watch a Super Bowl most years if I'm interested. If I think there's a good story there. But I'm sort of watching it for the story. I'm not watching it because I'm oh yeah, dude, Patrick Mahomes had 4 touchdowns with 1 interception and for 240 yards. I don't understand all that. I have no idea what the fuck all that shit is. So I don't appreciate the sport, but I appreciate the stories. I think they're really good at building the stories and the legends and the Tom Brady and stuff like that. I think it's interesting, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna give that a C. Maybe a B actually. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B. Yeah, I think it's probably on par. No, C. It's a C. Yeah. All right. Rugby. It's actually big in Australia, big in England, big in New Zealand, South Africa. I don't know where else. A few other countries. Not a massive fan. I think soccer is the most skilled game. I think out of all these games, soccer is the most skilled. I think out of all these, rugby is the least skilled. That's probably a hot take. People will probably get triggered. But I seriously think it's... I'm sure there's some skill in it. All these sports you need skill for, but I think rugby, it's the least skill. And personally, I don't really enjoy it. It seems like it's the same thing all the time, you know. It's just lines running at each other, passing backwards. Like, there's no, like... I don't know. Every game feels the same to me. I obviously don't understand rugby, so yeah. Golf. Again, not personally interested. D tier. I think if I played golf, I'd put it C tier, but I suck at golf. I want to be good one day, but we'll stick in D tier for now. Field hockey. I played a bit of field hockey, actually. I played for my college. I didn't really play. I was on the team, but I basically just sat on the bench. Yeah, overall trash sport, really, isn't it? It's shit to watch. Just not a good sport. It's not really that internationally big either. I think it's big in India. It's sort of popular in Australia, but not really, dude. Like, it's pretty dead thing. Volleyball. I think volleyball, you might know this, but I think it's the most played sport in the world. I think it is more played than soccer. I might be wrong on that, but I think volleyball has the most people playing it in the world. I could be wrong though. I'm just saying, but I think it has the most. I played a bit of volleyball. I actually have an international gold medal in Division 2 in Melbourne, Australia. Gold medal for volleyball. So pretty pog. Pretty decent sport. I wouldn't really watch it. I'm just gonna put it C tier. Cricket, big in Australia. Watched it a lot when I watched it heaps when I was younger. I used to sit in front of the TV and just watch the test. But I don't really do that anymore. I guess because it's time consuming. I'd rather do other things with my time. I'm going to give this a B tier. Yeah, cricket's a B tier. Not as good as AFL, but not as bad as these other ones. Ice hockey, I probably shouldn't have put this in the list. I haven't watched a lot of it. I played the video games a little bit. I think it deserves better than hockey though. So I think it would be better than all these. I think if all these are on telly, I probably would watch the golf actually, just because I know the people that play golf. Like I know the famous people. I'd either watch golf or ice hockey if they're out of these four. So I'm just going to put ice hockey up there, just because I want it higher than field hockey. Because fuck field hockey. Boxing. I think recently a lot more interesting with like Tyson Fury and that. It's more like, it's the more the people you want to watch. It's not really, I guess if you appreciate it, you would watch anybody. Like if you appreciate the style of boxing or the art or whatever you want to call it. I think I like the UFC more though, just because of I feel like they're better. I guess, I don't know if it's just because I watch more of that stuff that I see more marketing for them. Like I see a lot of marketing for different UFC fighters. So I appreciate them more, I guess. So I'm going to put that C tier, I think. Baseball. I think baseball's boring as shit, dude. I think it goes way too long. I think it is skilled. I think throwing a baseball and hitting a baseball would be very hard. But I think it's boring as shit, to be honest. I'm going to put that D tier. Tennis. Good all-round sport. I'm going to put it high B, I reckon. Obviously, a lot of tennis players are famous, so you know a lot of the tennis players. Australia have their own Grand Open, or whatever it's called. Grand Slam. So yeah, it's pretty big in Australia. I played it when I was a kid. But yeah, tennis is pretty decent. I think this is exactly what I want, I reckon. I reckon this is fair. There's nothing here I'm outraged about, really. I think that is perfect, chat. So that's my tier list. These two sports I watch probably the most of, and I like the most. I think I just think they're really good. I think basketball's really good to watch, just any game. But soccer, the best games are really good to watch. You know, soccer at its best is just insane. But yeah, chat. That's pretty much all. Thanks for watching. Give me some more tier list ideas in the comments, guys. Catch us later.